Hey, it's Sparkle11 with another ORAS Wi-Fi battle. This was a pretty long battle. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll be, but it was definitely a ton of turns, and live, it was about a half an hour, I think. So I'm not sure exactly how long it'll be recording it. But looking at the teams here, I have an almost entirely SAO team with Yui, the Klefki, Kirito. Shouldn't need any explanation who Kirito is. Sino and the Kingdra, and Lisbeth, the Dusclops. The only not SAO characters on my team here are Typhlosion, who isn't named because Typhlosion is my favorite Pokemon. I just prefer to keep his name Typhlosion, because that's what it was the first time I had Typhlosion, and Aaron the Charizard, because Typhlosion and Aaron just never leave my team. Aaron because he's my main Mega. Then look at the opponent's team here. Really diverse. Pretty tough to deal with. And not sure what I was going to say there. So I know I can at least live one Volt Switch. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to live a Thunderbolt, but I had nothing to switch to. Except maybe Yui. But luckily I lived the Volt Switch. And get a good bit of hacks right here. So they have Flash Fire. But thankfully, I outspeed them first turn, and nice little bit of hacks here that was pretty much the only reason I went for this instead of switching. Not that I had anything to switch to, but I had to get the hacks there. Otherwise, I was doomed. Hound doomed. So they figured I would go for another Air Slash. I was actually switching out because I knew that Mega Houndoom would outspeed me. It turned out perfectly though, because otherwise Aaron would have been dead. And their Houndoom just can't survive this eruption. Now Typhlosion is free to kill all. So this almost takes out Starmie. And this was actually a really good decision I made here. I was switching out, I believe, because I thought they would switch to something else. Or just to take the Psychic and then start setting up. But had I gone for Eruption, they would have recovered and I wouldn't have been able to take them out. Wait, no. I could have gone for Eruption and taken them out. I should have gone for Eruption and taken them out. Honestly, that would have been so much better. That could have saved me big time later on. Now that I'm looking back on this, I really wish I'd gone for Eruption instead of switching. So Yui tanks it, and I really have no reason to continue setting up here. I need to use Light Screen while it's up. So I was hoping I thought that they would choice specs here, but that showed me that they weren't choice at all. Then I figured they must have been Focus Sashed. And since this thing came in, I know the knockoff's coming. Why else would it be in? So my only chance was to switch to Aaron and let him die. Meanwhile, setting up the Sun. That way Typhlosion can come in and utterly destroy this thing. Sorry, Aaron, you did your job. And if I wasn't already in Blaze territory, that Mach Punch definitely put me in it, but I don't think it mattered. And there was a really long decision right there on whether he would go for another Mach Punch or not, because it was so obvious that I would switch. So I won that prediction in the end, surviving thanks to him not going for Mach Punch, thinking that I would switch out to something else. He was probably going to go for Knockoff, thinking I would switch in Liz. And unfortunately they get off another recover and withdraw before I have time to set off the infestation. And Thorn is a jerk. Honestly, why does infestation do contact? I don't see how it's a contact move. So now here was another big risk. They might have gone for some kind of attack, figuring that I would switch in Typhlosion because I knew they would set up the Stealth Rocks. But either they got out-predicted or they just didn't think of that. So they get off the Stealth Rocks and Typhlosion is safely in, not having to worry about it now. And they're under infestation. They can't switch out. They're gone. Wait. Oh. Okay. I completely forgot about that. But as that happened, I was thinking, why did infestation wear off just because I switched out? And so close. Pretty sure I got min damage at least one of those times. But at least the Life Orb took down the Starmie, so Typhlosion did most of its job. But had it survived, it probably could have won the whole thing. So now I believe it's down to just Yui and Liz. And this is where things get really hard. So I've got the screens now. I've got one screen. Now I have both screens. And now all I can do is just keep using Thunder Wave, hoping that they'll either switch or just so I can sack off Yui, because I can't switch here. Because they had the Shadow Balls, I just couldn't switch without taking too much damage, so my only choice was to keep going for Thunder Wave on the off chance that they switch, which they weren't going to do. Oh right, I had Xenon left. So now it's Xenon and Liz, and I have to set up here so that I'll be able to outspeed Jolteon. Unfortunately, I take a little too long. Actually, yeah, here, if only I had started setting up, it could have been a lot better. But since I got the burn, it was kinda alright. But if I had started setting up there, it probably would have been much better. So I figured there's absolutely nothing they can do, but they not only had the Leech Seed, which was really annoying and I should have seen coming, but they have Thunder Wave. Thunder Wave is Xenon's end. All because of the Thunder Wave, Xenon doesn't live to the end of this battle. So now I just have to hope that this can take the Thorn out, which it doesn't. Only came slightly close. Gyro Ball is absolutely nothing, but it's too late anyway, thanks to that paralysis. Luckily I don't get paralyzed, but that's not the reason why it was a problem. So Draco Meteor has a 5% chance to miss, but I wasn't sure if Scald would take it out, so I went with the little bit of a risk going for Draco Meteor. Wasn't a problem, but thanks to the paralysis, in the long run, it didn't help much. Because now Jolteon is free to take me out. Not sure why they didn't go for Thunderbolt, which I knew they had. They'd used Thunderbolt before. But they probably thought I would switch. Oh right, I also have Kirito. And that crit was probably the end of Kirito. Turned out great here, but because of the Focus Sash, it was really more of a problem in the end. At this point, there was no way I could possibly win. I could only hope to take one of the opposing Pokemon out. But you'll see what happens here. So, I figured they were going to go straight for Shadow Ball, because why wouldn't they just go for Shadow Ball and end it right here? So, I would survive on almost nothing, and then get off a Pain Split. Except, they switch. I get off a Pain Split on something that has 1 HP, and because of that, they don't even go down to recoil on Brave Bird. Had I gone for Will-O-Wisp or Toxic there, or even Infestation, I could have gotten rid of the Staraptor and then gone down to Jolteon, but instead it was a 2-0. Could have made a 1-0, but instead it was just a 2-0 against me. But since that was a pretty long and really interesting battle, I uploaded it anyway. Well, I'm uploading it anyway, since it's more about entertainment than winning. And even though I lost, that was still an entertaining battle for me. So if you want to battle me, take the Twitter link in the description and then tweet me asking for a battle. And if you want to be in FFAs on, well, I have them about every other Saturday. I'm trying to have them every other Saturday around 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. Comment with your Skype name and FC, and then I'll get back to you on that. So, see you next time.